AskReddit by Squirrel Kid 11. What job is useless? My very first job. I'm a toxicologist and was hired by a very big private laboratory. My main job was to sort and redirect case files depending on the time at which the results came out. The documents were sent to me in Excel. I was getting paid to just click sort by date descendingly. Edit. Wow, this blew up. I had to do something similar to this when I was doing summer help at a steel factory. They paid me $14 an hour to sit there for 8 hours and just move files to different folders and rename them. Sometimes I would pull weeds and paint walls, but that was about it. We have a specific security guard we've had for 13 plus years now and is pretty useless. The security guard lives there and has a TV. He watches telenovelas most of the time. All he does is open the gate, and doesn't even bother to even inspect though, since according to his logic 99% of people who can afford a car aren't bad harmful people. He doesn't ask names or house numbers, just opens the gate whenever he sees a car. Anyone can come in if they have a car, he doesn't even inspect faces. And do you know the worst part? When moving into the Privateer, you are supplied with your own control remote. The gates are also automatic. So he only opens the gate for anyone who doesn't live there? Yikes. Google Pharmacy Benefit Manager. Literally their only purpose is to make more money for middlemen while fucking over the general public on drug prices. Glad to see I wasn't the only one looking for this. Had them deny a breast cancer drug because my patient didn't try 2 other drugs first even though the FDA approval has zero stipulation of another drug being trialed first. It was for Kiscali if anyone is curious, and I will be sending a feisty appeal letter very soon. Mine. I'm a management consultant, and while I have quite a bit of industry knowledge and experience, my clients either have the same knowledge or they aren't willing to accept change. Oftentimes my firm gets paid a lot of money to make very little difference strategically and or operationally. Where we do add value is in implementing enterprise-wide software solutions. Why do I stay? The money is pretty good given the futility. I heard from an acquaintance of mine who is a management consultant that most of the time people just want to hear their ideas out of someone else's mouth and will pay you to do it so that their peers will be more amenable to the idea. An elevator attendant. First floor, sir? I'll press button number 1 for you. Does anywhere still have these guys, or is it just an old movers thing? I'm so old I remember when they had these in department stores. Whilst shopping with my grandma one day, we got in an elevator and the attendant asked if we wanted the 2nd floor. My grandma replies, "Why yes. How did you know?" He says, "Mom, there's only 2 floors. And we're currently on the 1st one." Deleted. That lady. Dear God, they should fire that lady. Telemarketers. I don't know a single person who has actually purchased something from a telemarketer. Maybe it's something the older generation does, but everyone hates them and immediately hangs up on them around me. I worked as a telemarketer for State Farm when I got out of high school, and in 8 months I had one person actually let me give her a quote. It was my aunt. No one is talking about those sign spinners that became popular. Who has ever seen someone flipping a sign and 1. Been able to read it? 2. Went to the business to buy something because of it? The job only exists because the businesses want to put a sign there, but it's cheaper or the only legal option to hire a person to hold the sign and stand there. Paparazzi. Theoretically, these MFs could be using their skill set to hold politicians and evil oil companies accountable, but nah, they just want to take up skirt photos and shit. Bathroom attendants. I don't need somebody in there pulling paper towels out the dispenser just to hand it to me and compel me to tip them. I've been to a place where the attendant uses a lint roller on you, sprays you with some perfume, and has a little repair kit for clothes. Mother's Day cards and all kinds of trinkets. I was not prepared to be there and showed up with a Rolling Stones shirt and dirty jeans. Everyone was dressed nice. I suspect they let me in because they thought I was one of those rich people so unaware of societal rules that they dress kinda crappy. I was actually just poor. Removed. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a monkey is a good guy with a monkey. Removed. One of the middle managers I supervise is like that. We're just waiting for him to retire so we can eliminate his position entirely. I do approx 95% of my manager's job, so my manager. Deleted. Shop security in most cases, they can't legally do anything but just watch. Depends on the type of security they invest in. Security guards who stand at the door all day in a uniform, yes you're right, in most cases they're used as a deterrent. However, store detectives go undercover and try to blend in with other customers, in their own clothes, browsing stock and carrying a basket trolley, so that they go unnoticed. Those people are allowed to tackle shoplifters and actually do something about it. Car dealerships. Just let me buy a car from the factory. Your job is to get me to pay as much as possible. So useless and so annoying. Yes, factory direct should be a thing with all this technology. Order your car on the app, pick custom settings, delivered to your driveway in 2-3 business days. I'm not saying all project managers are useless, but holy shit, some of you make a compelling case. I'd argue the same for Scrum Masters. A friend of mine worked at a government office. While he was on leave there was a reorganization and somehow he managed to not be fired nor get a new job. When he returned, his manager and the manager's manager both had moved on to new jobs in the private sector, but his office was still there, so he just went back to work. He did for some weeks try to figure out who he should report to, but was just referred to different people that did not reply, promised to get back to him or just referred him to someone else, so eventually he just gave up. Then there was a need for his office and he had to vacate it. So he just went home, and that was fine because he had cleared his backlog of work and was not really motivated because there was nobody he could talk to, report to or assign tasks to him. He is still getting paid. While it's a billion-dollar industry, health insurance. Literally they exist to prevent you from cashing out on what you paid into. They have little to no medical knowledge, make everything more expensive, and exist solely as a useless middleman to make themselves rich. I know everyone has a health insurance story, but just to add on to how slimy this industry is, in order to get a needed breast reduction, my health insurance company insisted on having nude photos of me taken. My doctor telling them it was necessary, measurements of my body weight, and years-long documented health problems were not sufficient. It felt so violating as a sexual assault survivor to have to strip naked while my doctor whipped out his iPhone to send naked photos of me for strangers to review just to be approved for surgery. Deleted. Try clicker training with cats. They love working for food. It's a great way to communicate with them and they can learn a lot. Operant conditioning can be used to train goldfish too. Just use a flashlight. It works miracles in kids and spouses. G = AOV for 0 WHNSE 4 LVRIQXX RAG 4Q1. Whoever keeps asking the same questions in this sub every week. AskReddit is the best karma farm available. Most middle management positions. Their job is literally to take bullshit from above and send it below, and to have someone to shift blame to. There are often multiple levels through which the bullshit must pass, as well. The root problem lies in senior management that knows fuck all about the work. They add middle managers to deal with it for them, but that role's time is dedicated to cancelling out the effects of other managers at best, or at worst amplifying the micromanaging from above. It's exactly backwards. We concentrate all the agency to make decisions at the points as far removed from the product as possible, make everyone who has more visibility on the work solely beholden to those with less, and the only meaningful signals that filter up to a decision maker are turnover and blown deadlines. At which point you're already fucked. Unpaid internships. Not useless at all, it's basically free slavery. Reddit moderator. Don't you need to be paid for it to be a job? Hustling. These hustle culture guys spend all their free time counting quarters from gumball and vending machines, making like $500 a month in passive income, trying to convince everyone around them to do the same so that they can pawn off the bullshit they bought and try to get out and go to the next hustle while working a shitty job they hate. My brother in Christ, quit fucking around with trying to buy washing machines at a laundromat and take some vocational classes. Learn how to weld or become an electrician. Skilled trades can make that $500 in an afternoon. I guess pay for trades just really depends where you are and who you work for. I did commercial HVAC, worked on everything from package units to chillers, exhaust fans and ventilation. I did not make $500 in an afternoon. Not even close. That was more like a whole week.